Good morning and welcome to the Dutton Homestead. This morning I just wanted to do a short video and show you some of the herbs that I planted this year. I had about half a dozen herbs planted last year. I had dill, basil, rosemary, sage, lavender, which didn't do so great, a few things. And over the course of the last year I did a little bit of deep diving into medicinal herbs, and I watched a lot of videos which were telling me what I needed to have in my medicinal medicine cabinet, and so I gave those a try. Now, weird things happen sometimes when I'm starting things from seed. Things will start popping up and I'm looking at it and I'm like, I don't think it's supposed to look like that, and so I'll Google an image and it's not that. So there's some things that I thought I had started that ended up being a squash or a tomato, probably from compost that hadn't quite finished, or something like that. I don't know why. So in that case, I took what I had written down of what it was supposed to be. I took it out and put it aside, and my plan is to restart them this week. Now it's just the first week of May. I should have plenty of times to get some stuff established. Some of the exciting things is that some of the things that I had started last year, unbeknownst to me, were perennials. So they came up again and came up strong this year. And I think that's pretty cool. One of those things is my valerian root. So at the end of the season last year, this is my valerian root, this is the second year. Last year it got to be about a foot high. I cannot remember if it flowered or not. I honestly cannot remember. But then as I was like, okay, what do I do with this? I started digging up the roots and realized I really didn't have enough root to make an extract out of, so I just repotted it and crossed my fingers for the winter, and it seemed to do quite well. And I'm going to do some more research to see whether it is this year that I dig up some roots, if there's a way of propagating it, separating it out so I can keep one going while using some of the root. But valerian is one of those things I wanted to have in my medicine cabinet. At some point I want to do a video on each herb, not all in one video, but each herb and why I grew it, much like what I did with the dandelion video, which I can link below. I restarted dill and it's coming up. Now it's did really well with the transplant. I think it would be doing better if it actually got warmer during the day. We've just been hitting the 60s very rarely, in the 70s the last couple weeks. I think it would do better once it starts getting warmer in the day and staying warmer at night. We're getting into the 40s, low 40s some nights. So this is a new one. This is, to me, this is marshmallow root that I started from seed. Or marshmallow. I'm actually not sure what you do with this. That's going to be one of those things that, okay, I know I'm supposed to grow it. Why? I started some new rosemary, my other rosemary bush. I'll take you over there in a few minutes and show it to you. It looked tired. I didn't know whether that's just the way it looks or if it needs fertilizer or something else I need to look into. My oregano came back and I separated it, and I actually put a few potted plants of oregano amongst my tomatoes. I heard that was a good companion plant. Parsley, tried to start parsley last year, didn't do anything. It's doing really well. I've taken a few cuttings already, dried some, used some fresh. You see I needed a little bit of weeding in there. Parsley's doing great. I've taken 3 cuttings off of the lemon balm and used it in my dandelion tea as well as other teas. I've freeze-dried some of it, put it away so when I don't have it fresh and available I can use it through the winter, and it just keeps coming back. It must be part of the mint family. I'll have to check into that. Sage. I don't remember the sage flowering last year either. Now there is some, I don't know if you can see this through the camera, but there's it's not like a deep green. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be, if that's something I need to check into to see if it needs to be amended with some fertilizer, but we'll check that out. This year I planted cilantro, which I did not last year, and it's starting to come up. I want to add that to my salsas this year. I did not put it in my salsas last year. I think last year I was a bit of a snob. Like if I couldn't grow it, I tried not to buy it. And so if I didn't have it when I was trying to prepare something, I didn't use it. And I've got myself out of that mindset. I can only grow what I can grow, and it's okay to buy things at the store if you need to and add it to it. I just know I cannot buy organic all the time, so I try to grow it. Chamomile. Now I bought this at a festival a couple weeks ago over in Asheville. I bought a potted plant from one of the vendors there, and I separated it. So I have this going 2 different places. I've been trying to grow chamomile from seed for like 2 years now to no avail, so I just caved and someone else can get it going. Get it going for me and I'll try and keep it alive. So hopefully that's gonna work out. Chamomile, I'm growing for obvious reasons. I have been buying now Celestial Seasoning chamomile for probably like 3 months straight, and try to have a cup before going to bed. It seems to put me into a deeper sleep, which means I tend to wake up a little bit more refreshed than when I don't, and I have noticed a difference. Lavender was a tough one, but I think it's gonna make it now. I probably reseeded and restarted. I started growing the lavender like in January, and I finally got some seedlings popping up, so I'm hoping that this does well this year. Calendula, I don't know how to pronounce it, but I've planted like 4 or 5 different kinds of those, and they all seem to be doing well. One of them that I have, oh, there's one there. I was gonna say over in the garden, I actually see some of the flowers starting to come up. I had heard that this is like one of the fairly easy ones to get and keep going, sort of like marigolds. Like I've had no problems growing marigolds. This year I wanted to focus on calendula. That's what I'm gonna call it. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but that's what I'm gonna call it. I wanted to focus on that because medicinally it seems to be better than the marigolds. Marigolds is good, but the calendula seems to be better. This one clearly needs some water. It's looking a little tired, but it's a different kind of calendula. Over here is where I had separated the other chamomile. And what I may do is separate that, like take one of those out as they start to grow and plant that someplace else. I want lots of chamomile. If I can get to the point where I don't have to buy Celestial Seasoned chamomile, I'll be a happy girl. This is some nasturtium that I had watched in a video. Someone said that it was one of the things you needed to have. I don't know why, so we'll see what it does and then I'll find out why. I also bought this one at that festival. It was the festival that I bought the chamomile and the nasturtium from was the Farm Where You Live festival, and it was in Asheville. We went in October, and it was a 2-day event, and that was in South Carolina. I can't remember the name of the town. It was about 3 hours from here, and that was fantastic. It was a great time. Anybody gets a chance to go to one of those, you need to go. But that's this time they had some people that had plants, and I bought some things that, all right, as I was reading through the plant list of what they had, I'm like, okay, I'm supposed to have that. I don't know why, but I'm supposed to have that. So I bought that, and the chamomile was a no-brainer because 2 years I've been trying to do it. I've got some advice. I was complaining on Facebook that I couldn't get it going, and I got some advice from some friends telling me it was easy. That particular friend lives on the East Coast of North Carolina. I couldn't make it work, so I just bought it, and they look fabulous. Got some black cumin. This is one of those ones that it was labeled, and when it grew up in the little seedling pot, it was clearly a squash of some sort, because complete with yellow flower. So I went ahead and restarted this. This seems to be doing okay. Like I said, I think they'd be a little bit bigger and stronger if it was warmer out. Purslane. Purslane is a superfood, I hear. So they seem to be doing good. That's exciting. And then feverfew. Again, I think I had a sunflower growing out of the original pot of that, but there was enough of them in there that I had thought had worked. I went and repotted them and threw some extra seeds in, so they seem to be doing this good as well. This is elderberry. I bought a elderberry root last fall. We didn't know where to put it. We're still not sure where we're going to put it, so we just stuck it in a pot. I believe I had broccoli growing out of pots, out of this pot. It was either broccoli or sweet potatoes last year. We stuck it in there and it's doing really well. I do want to find a forever home for it, because I think it will really flourish once I get it in the ground. It'd be very cool to be able to make my own elderberry tea, elderberry syrup. This is last year's rosemary, and clearly it needs to be weeded, but it didn't look super healthy. I think maybe if I amend the soil, if I put some maybe worm castings in there and bring the soil level up a little bit, it'll probably, maybe I need to put it more in the sun. This right here tends to get a lot of shade till the afternoon. I think maybe it'll do good. We have an intruder. This kitty cat comes over and checks out our flocks on a daily basis. I don't know who it belongs to. This here is Comfrey. We bought 10 roots of Comfrey last fall. I think I purchased it, I'm going to say the beginning of September, and we weren't sure what to do with it. Probably held on to it for a week or so. We stuck it in the ground, and I wasn't sure if they were going to take, but they're really coming out good. Comfrey is one of those awesome things you can make salve out of. You can chop and drop and use it as a fertilizer to amend your soil, as in with the compost. You can feed it to your chickens. You can use it as a mulch. It's just one of those things that I guess once you start it, you have to be careful because it will overtake things. So I'm really excited that it's doing well. I purchased the Comfrey from Billy at Perma Pastures. I think that every gardener needs to have it in their garden. I'm gonna go ahead and post a link in the comments of how you can get, where you can get some. It may seem like a little bit of an investment at first, but you're buying it once and it's going to propagate itself, and then you pull them up. I just watched a video where his wife Michelle did. I just watched a short video on that. Basically you just pull some up and cut the roots and stick them in the ground and they'll grow from there. You don't have to be like real specific about it. They want to grow. These are the first tomatoes that I put in this year. I put these in, I want to say maybe a month ago, and they got hit with a frost and some of the leaves started to get a little discolored. Those, what I've been doing is cutting off the bottom of them. I'm not going to get into the tomatoes too much today because I want to do that on another day, but they're doing well now. But next to them, I got my basil. Put a basil on each row. This one may need to put another one in there. I don't think it took. But also some rosemary on both sides. It's supposed to be good companion plants, and I'll have, oh, and then the oregano in the middle. I'll have my pasta sauce all together. That'll be neat. This is just a black-eyed Susan that I transplanted from down the lower garden before we tilled it. I like pretty things, and black-eyed Susans and daisies are actually my favorite flowers. That one looks like it wants to continue. I pulled up like 4 or 5 of them and then just threw them other places that I didn't mind them growing. I've got more oregano next to the zucchini. Heard it was a good companion plant. I really want to keep the squash bugs away, and if that helps, then we're going to try it. Another kind of calendula, and this, I'm sure I'm going to massacre what this is called, an Ella campaign. I don't know what it is or what it does, but it was one of those things I needed in my medicine cabinet, and it seems to be doing well after the transplant. So that's what I got in my herb garden to date right now on the 3rd of May. I do plan on starting some more seeds, kind of like doing inventory. What do I need? Going back, look at some of the videos that I had saved of why I need it, and then we'll figure out, see if I can round things out. Now I'm not going to be able to grow everything that I wanted to grow. I think I come to the realization you can only do what you can, and the last thing you want to do is overextend yourself and try to do everything. It's hard. It's hard for a full-time homesteader, someone that gets up from the morning and starts with feeding the chickens and the animals and ends with harvesting at night and closing up the animals. It's hard for someone that does that as their life. It's hard enough for them to do everything that they want to do. It's about impossible for someone that's gone from the homestead 40 to 50 hours a week. So I think I've come to that place where it's like, it's just, whatever I'm doing, I do it better than the last time I did it, and just live in that. So coming up in the future videos that I want to do is we want to go through and show you what we did with the over 100 chickens that we got within 4 weeks. Some of them we ordered, some of them we ordered, some of them we hatched out. The ones that we tried to let Broody Betty sit on, there was like 9 eggs that she was sitting on. She wasn't really a good mom. None of them survived or thrived, or none of them made it. So, but we want to come through and show you. Rick wants to show what he did with the different areas where we have the chickens. So looking to do that in the next couple days. And I just want to talk to you again about the Farm Where You Live festival. So recently I applied to be an affiliate for the Farm Where You Live festivals that are in the Carolinas. What I love about them is that you can go and actually talk to the people that you see on YouTube, people I've been learning from for the past 2 years, almost 3 years that we've been trying to learn how to be homesteaders. It's incredible. You're in a group of like-minded people, and you just learn the knowledge. It's awesome. It's not like there's so many people that you can't get near these people that you've learned from. Another thing that I like about it is the price point of it. Some homesteading conventions and festivals are expensive, and I'm sure they're worth every penny. They're just not in my budget. And the first one that we went to in October was a 2-day event, and we were in a position where we were able to go for the weekend, and we were able to get a hotel, and that was cool because it was like, I want to say it was almost 4 or 5 hours from us, but it was amazing. The one that we went to in Asheville 3 weeks ago, it was April 15th. Yeah, April 15th. It was great. It was held at an agricultural center, so it was set up a little bit different than the first one we went to. But I've applied to be an affiliate, and what does that mean? That means that as I talk about them, these events as they come up, not sure when the next one that's coming up. I think there was supposed to be one that got canceled recently, like as recently as this week it got canceled. It was supposed to be in a few weeks. But I'll have an affiliate link, and if you choose to click on that link and order tickets or shop their store, they have books. They have books by Joel Salatin. They have, who's like, you know, homesteading god. And they have t-shirts. They have cool t-shirts. Like I'm wearing one right now, Farm Where You Live t-shirt. They have chicken t-shirts. They have hats, merch. If you wanted to buy some of that, if you click on it and through my affiliate link, I'm gonna get some money for your purchase. It doesn't cost you any more. It's just gives me a little bit of a stream of income. So I thought that was exciting too. I'll put the link for my affiliate link. I'll put it in the comments as well. If you get a chance to, if you are in the Carolinas and you get a chance to go to one of these events, it's awesome. You may find that you meet somebody at an event that you've maybe traveled an hour or two to, that actually lives a block and a half from you. And that's kind of what is awesome about it, is it's building community. And we're all trying to be self-sustaining and self-sufficient. That doesn't mean we don't want community. It means we want to get out of the system as much as possible. I mean, none of us can get out of the system 100%. So it's an amazing time, and it's an amazing opportunity to to get together with people that are like-minded and learn. And every day you should try to learn something. That's what life's all about. It's like learning stuff. Thank you for joining me today, and hit like and subscribe, and I appreciate you following us. Be a blessing and be blessed.